All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, so it's Monday today, 11th of May, and we're just going with the updates for the TMX, for the PREDIXA, and of course, we're gonna provide some details from the our Munich event. Yeah, like event which we did in Germany with Jake, with Niklas, with Gottfried, with all the guys. And unfortunately, Jake today he's not gonna join us. Yeah, because like he working on the bring liquidity into the PREDIXA. Yeah, some like big investors just about to join. So like he working on that, but we're just gonna go straight away for that what I have, guys. Like today. So some photos, yeah, like some videos, and of course for let me just share it. Okay, right over here. So I hope that you can see the screen. Yeah. So like David, can you see the screen? Brian, can you see the screen? All of these photos.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Yeah, so like just Saturday, guys, like it was 9th of May. So like we did some event in Germany, in Munich. So like with the guys, and I don't have many photos. Yeah, so like it's basically me and our big top trader Jake right here. So like just was going through the all the updates of the TMX, yeah, and of course about the PREDIXA. Yeah, because like for today we have the new product, which is definitely gonna be much interested for those people who want to go decentralized. Yeah, so like, and it's gonna be like interested stuff for that people who are already using the poly market. Yeah, and like as you know, the poly market for today is restricted in the so many countries. Yeah, so like we did all that details. Yeah, so like which we provide, and of course like with that stuff. So like right now it's gonna be like main focus, like just right now to get launched the PREDIXA. Yeah, so like and on the Munich event, so like we've been talk about the TMX DEX. Yeah, so like about that, how basically traders definitely can join, especially from Europe. Yeah, like from the restricted areas from the United States, just to start to trade on that. Yeah, so like after the V2 is finished, and together with the prediction market, yeah, so like it's gonna be much faster, yeah, and it's gonna be much interested for the people to join, because inside the TMX DEX, like what we have that people who just actually as a traders, yeah, so like they trade, and also like we have the liquidity providers, that people who buy in the tokens, yeah, so like who just basically using that for themselves, and it's like for the some specific audience. But the Predixa, everybody can use it, yeah, because like you don't have to be the trader, you don't have to have like some special skills or knowledge, because as you know, guys, like in the pooling market there's basically up or down, like yes or no, and the same stuff we're gonna have in the Predixa, but it's gonna be more decentralized. Yeah, so like 100% decentralized. So like it doesn't matter if some country is restricted, you have your wallet, you made the connect, and you work with that. And it's actually some kind of the like the overview how the predicts are going to be look like, like some of the variant how it's going to be look like. Yeah, so like it just right here also I have even the video. Yeah, so like let me just maybe find it for you somewhere right there. So like it's actually Jake been taking talking something right here, so I think just not share all, but yeah, so like here is the video of the like predicts are from the inside. Yeah, so like maybe it's not gonna be exactly that way how you see this right now. Yeah, but Jake will gonna provide this from the computer on Wednesday, because we just talked to him, and like he said, just show the videos, and I will gonna show on Wednesday from the website. Yeah, so how that gonna be look like, because it's on the computer, it's not on the server yet. Yeah, so like the main work is going behind the scenes. Yeah, so how that will gonna work, but it's the really cool stuff that everything is really look brilliant. Yeah, like with all of that buttons, all of with all of these predictions. Yeah, so like you can just basically use it like yes or no, up and down, and just gonna go in with all of this, like pretty fast, like they're pretty easy, and just like the same how like you work on the decentralized exchanges. And plus, like what is the pretty cool, yeah, so like that idea which Chick provide on the event, that we actually in the future can implement the Predixa into the different DEXs, just like create some cooperation with them. Yeah, and so just like it's going to be not only for the TMX, yeah, but also with the so many other different exchanges, and like basically they will gonna get some profit from that, and like we as well. So that's the really great product right now, which can help us to get the TMX token on the next level. Yeah, because like we had some kind of the stuff with the hacks. Yeah, like during of the like V1 when the people just basically connect the wallet to some sites and basically many wallets been compromised. So just like right now with all of that upgrades with the 2FA is gonna be like much secured. But in the same time, of course, guys, like do not connect your wallet to some suspicious stuff. Basically, if you wanna participate in some airdrops, if you wanna just basically go for something, better to use like separate wallet. Just like create some wallet, like test it, but don't use that wallet which you use for the TMX. Like don't use that wallet which you use for the PREDIXA definitely. And just like with this way it will gonna be like another really great pump for the TMX token because like to use the PREDIXA you must have at least one TMX token, so like you must to have it just like to stake it. And of course, yeah, so like with this stuff people are gonna buy it, it will gonna start to grow, so it will gonna create some pump on the market. So yeah, guys, in event was great. So like was not some like many like people, but I think around like 30 people we had on the event. So like everybody is excited about that, how this stuff will gonna work. Yeah, so like just people definitely will gonna start to join already like these days. And I think that's the really great time to participate in the PLP if you still didn't participate yet, because like the 50% from the all fees in the creation round definitely can be earned, like by our community, like but that people who are gonna join right now. And of course, like it's much interested that like than that what we have in the poly market, because of all of those stuff with the restrictions right now. For us it's going to be pretty cool. Like we are not going to be restricted. Like that's what I'm just trying to say, that 100% decentralized stuff. And plus with the combo bets, yeah, like that combo bets will going to work as a leverage. Yeah, so like when we have on the exchange the futures, yeah, so like people just trade with the spot, and when they want to make more money, so like they go in more risky with the futures, yeah, but they can make more money with that. So inside the PREDIXA, we're gonna have the combo bets, and like it possible the same like use the leverage. Yeah, it's gonna be more risky, but possible to make more money. Yeah, and of course, like for today, guys, that's one of the really the trend. Yeah, so like it's definitely the trend for today, and those people who just like learning the trend the first, so like they definitely can make the most of the money. Yeah, and I think like guys, maybe can go through the pitch deck. Yeah, so like maybe Brian can go over the pitch deck, explain you guys like how cool is that, like to participate in the creation round right now, like to get that additional 10% of the PLP and just basically create the passive income for yourself. So that's a pretty cool one. So Brian, maybe you can go ahead. Just
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? The event looked cool. Looked like got a lot of people there, a lot of happy people, some videos. Yeah, go into sharing screen. So I was actually on the exchanges doing a little trading up and watching it kind of come back down and playing with it. So on the exchange, obviously, if you've been in the community for a while, we're buying TMX tokens and we're staking them over here on the Earn tab. Stake here, earn more. You can see here, this is how much I've earned, TMX and some Ethereum right here that I have to claim. We're still waiting on the updates for the passwords and the 2FA to be changed up here at the top left where it says your account is protected by authenticator. So all that has to be updated for us to be able to relaunch that. But yeah, keep earning those TMX. That's one thing that's just letting it on autopilot. And then on PREDIXA, guys, like make sure you get a link from somebody that has a link so you get an extra 10% bonus of PLP just putting it in there. But I mean, we're about to break 210,000, potentially have some big hitters coming in. You know how that goes. We're just waiting, to see it. It's all exciting, but I mean, I'm trying to get mine in constantly and help people get in, even if it's $100, because the way it looks on kind of the pitch deck, just having $100 in this thing is going to be cool when we start bringing in the volume. So this is the questions that I get a lot. Is this page right here and this page, the passive income, lifetime for passive income, and then like what happens if we get 1% of poly market, right? So how this works, and there's people that are better explaining this than I am. I'm going to do this in as layman terms as possible. So if we get 1% around that's 5 million a day on standard bets, just standard bets, like regular bets, not the combo bets, right? The combo bet is really cool because I like that one every 5 minutes it starts over. You go look over here at the trading page right now. If I get in a trade and say I short Bitcoin and it starts to go up, I'm probably going to hold on to that trade until it goes down. That could be 3 days. It could be four, it could be a month, or it could never go, either way. But I hold on to trades sometimes just to get into more profit or to see if it'll come back for days. But when you're looking at PREDIXA and it ends every 5 minutes, that's like guaranteed volume and guaranteed fees we're gonna have. And if you look out there, do some research on the other prediction markets out there, there's none of them out there that is going to be looks as hot as that what we have here with Predixa. To the fact that everything is completely decentralized. There's no information that you can bet on stuff if you even know the answers. Some people that realize how decentralized this is and what they can do on it. So if we're bringing 5 million on a standard predictions and 5 million a day in volume on the combo bets. That's 10 million. Let's say that is 1% of poly market. Standard fee, 3%, up to 10%. Could be more, could be less. That's what that up to means, Jake was saying. You take that 5 million from the daily revenue, times it by 3%, you get 150,000. Then you take that 5 million from the combo bet. That by 10%, that's 500,000. That's where you get the 650,000 right here per day, per year. Now we go into the next stage down here and you kind of look at it. Let's say we raise 3 million, 30,000 of that is 1% of that 3 million, right? So it's 1% of the 50% fee pool that he has right here. So you do that, you're looking at daily volume, daily platform fee revenue, 650,000. Your 50% pool share is 1%. That's 3,250 a day off of 30 grand. That's incredible. And that's something that can happen. We're watching people utilize these poly markets like crazy because they know when the trade is over or they know what they're betting on. They don't have to like do risk analysis, watch hours and hours of charts going up and down, trying to figure out which way something's going. They're just like, 5 minutes? Hell, I'm gonna bet Bitcoin's going down. You know what I mean? I don't even know. That's just what they're doing. I would be more actually excited to try that instead of trading Bitcoin up and down personally. It looks a lot easier. Could be a lot harder. I don't know, but it looks easier. So that passive income is incredible and what can actually happen because this isn't something that only our group is expected to get on and bet with. We're the actual early investors into this thing to earn. There's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of marketing towards marketing Predixa out there all over social media, all over the internet, anywhere possibly in front of everybody we can get at. It's not hard to do. You just have to pay the right people to do it. So, the rest of this, don't let this stuff confuse you. Don't let all these pages like scare you. Obviously, here's the little roadmap, which is cool. Hopefully we hit these deadlines. It's technology could be off a month or two, and going from there. But guys, this is simple. And what we can offer is what other prediction markets can't offer. They're partially decentralized. They still know who you are. Ours completely. Are we available anywhere in the world? Yes, we are. If your country restricts it, that's up to you. You deal with that yourself, but it's decentralized. That's how this works. I'm not supposed to be able to leverage trade as a United States citizen, but I can decentralize. So combo predictions, nobody has that. Multi-chains, we got 5 coming. Integrated in a DEX trading with leverage trading on the same page, that's going to be a game changer for those people that know how to trade. Like right here where I can leverage trade Bitcoin. Say I want to do a short right now, 50x whatever on Bitcoin, and then down below I have the combo bets as well. That's going to be there. That's some cool parts that there's nothing else out there like that. Maybe some spot trading along with with prediction bets, but not leverage trading and prediction bet on the same page. Token buyback and burn. I mean, honestly, this is one of the coolest things, right? This is our native token, TMX token. If we got this token, we come over here, we look at the earn page. We got 1.2 million of them staked, right? I got 20,000 tokens sitting right here. So we have a lot of tokens. Everybody on here has a lot of tokens. All that's going to do is every time those fees come in, we get 100,000 in fees, say just one day, we get 100,000 in fees. 20,000 of those dollars in fees are going to buy TMX and put it in a dead wallet. So that means it's going to go up. We're taking TMX out of circulation and just basically like throwing it away. It's not ever going to be used ever again. No marketing material, no nothing to give to people, nothing. They're never going to get touched. Nobody even has access to them. So that will be a huge game changer. So bringing on the buyback and basically, I guess they call it burn. I just call it put it in a dead wallet. So they're going to be gone. That makes your TMX more valuable. That's why all of us are excited that we're still growing our TMX, even when the exchange right now, not many people are trading. We're waiting on that version 2, but we're growing our TMX tokens. We're making more of them. You got those escrow TMX. We're moving those to the vault, possibly, if you can do that, and making more TMX there, claiming those, moving them on top, staking those, just doing the cycle, right? And then we'll have a part of, obviously, everybody will have a link to PREDIXA to invite people to do the predictions as well, and you'll be able to make percentages from that, which will be a game changer. So, guys, just look into these numbers. Watch some videos that David made. Tim's posting stuff in the groups. Nicholas made this pitch deck. He made a really good video that he promoted out there yesterday. Get that video and post that in your social media. It's like right at a minute. It's okay if you lose the last 5 seconds. Just post it on Telegram, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook. I don't really know. There's TikTok. There's a bunch of other ones. Just post it everywhere. Say, hey, here's a link, get invited, join our community, join our X page, join our Telegram, join our Discord. This is a real platform. This isn't something that's just like all of us get recruited to all the time. Here today, gone tomorrow, a daily multiplier. Yes, we can make money daily off of actual people betting and predicting, right? This isn't something that you're just like getting paid from new people's money to pay the old people. This isn't that. So this is creating something a lot bigger that we need a community. We need everybody on here to band together to promote this, to share this. And then we bring more people in and they see how real it is. That's why we're all here. That's why me, David, Tim are here. We wanted to get away from anything that could ever, AKA rug pull, disappear, be completely a Ponzi scheme. We want something real. And if it takes years to do it, that's why we're here doing it. So, I mean, that's why you constantly see us grinding this out. But yeah, PREDIXA it's going to be a game changer for those that are holding TMX tokens, that are staking them, or even any part of our ecosystem. So, I mean, I would get as little as PLP as you can get, as to as much as you can get. There's some of us on here that are addicted to buying PLP. Paul, I'm talking about, and but besides that, there's some that just getting their feet wet, and that's fine. There's some waiting for crypto to get moved through exchanges to get some PLP. So there's a lot of people excited, and there's a lot of people getting it. I'm excited to hear some more updates from Jake, and hopefully Wednesday. The event looks really good. Really, really excited about everything. So just pushing it.
Yeah, awesome, Brian. Yeah, and also, guys, I just want to add about the TMX price because I like many people asking about that, and also on the Germany when people asking about that, and I even record part of this, it's on our Telegram chat, on our Telegram channel. So right there, you can check the video of Jake when he explained how basically that TMX price will gonna go up. Yeah, because right now the real price for the TMX around $15. Yeah, so once the V2 gonna be completed, yeah, so he together with the market market maker will gonna start to set price around that one. Yeah, like around that like $15 or something around this. So like that's gonna be like pretty fast how it's gonna go back right there. And like from that price, like we should hit around $30 already this summer. Yeah, so like you're gonna provide more information this on Wednesday. And I think that's the pretty great because like many people asking right now how to sell the TMX tokens, like and just like I'm not sure like why you want to sell this by the $2 or like $1. It doesn't have any sense. Yeah, because like it's gonna be set it, and definitely you can make much more money if you're gonna fix some profit even by the $15. So just like that. And Dave also creates some really great video about the numbers. Yeah, so like Dave, maybe you can add something about that number stuff so like people can understand how much money they can make with like some deposit which they can do into the PLP.
Yeah, that sounds good. Tim, can you do me a favor and share your screen? I'm on my phone. Just
Um,
share the pitch deck. I want to
yeah,
go over a few numbers. I had somebody text me a little while ago say if I could run the numbers for $100. In the video, I did 1,000, I did 10,000, but they want to see what $100 would look
yep,
like.
yep. 1 second, Dave. Let me just open it.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Oh,
Brian can share
Brian
it
has it. Yeah, Brian
faster.
already
Yeah.
has it.
You want
Okay.
me to share it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can share it.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, that way it'll make more sense to everybody. I'm a numbers guy. I like running numbers. Yeah, that one right there is perfect. So what I did was in my last video that I made, I said, because I had a few people even ask me like, hey, well, what happens when we first get started and we don't see 5 million in the standard or 5 million in the combo bets, right? What is that going to look like? We already see the pitch deck. And to wrap your guys' head around what this is going to look like, just remember this. Polymarket, you go to Google, Polymarket does about over $400 million a day in volume, right? So just think about what we can do in volume. So right here, you see in the pitch deck, it's 5 million in the standard, 5 million in the combo bets, which is 10 million a day in volume, which is very, very conservative. But we put it down a little bit lower to $1 million in the standard in a day and $1 million in the combo bet. So let's see what $2 million a day would look like. So if you get that million in the standard after the same fees, the 3% in standard and 10% in the combo bets, you're going to get 30,000 and 100,000. That's $130,000 instead of the 650,000, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to do the math right here. You do 130,000 after the fees. That's what PREDIXA keeps times 50%. That's 65,000, right? So now this is where you come in. If somebody comes in with $100 and that's all they could afford, you got to find out what percentage is $100 to a $3 million raise. So we're raising $3 million. So what that's going to look like is you're going to do 65,000 times, and I got the percentage right here. It's 0.00333333%. That leaves you with $2 a day, right? But look at this, times 30 days, that's $64 a day. So you know it's going to take you a little bit over a month to recoup your ROI, which is phenomenal because you think about it, a lot of other, if you're in stocks or bonds, sometimes it's going to take a long time to actually recoup some of your ROIs. Let's just see what that looks like in a year. Times 12, that's pretty much $780 a year, which is great. You put $100, you're making extra money. Now, let me do one more with $1,000, 65,000 after the fees times. So with 1,000, the percentage is 0.0333%. Somebody's making, if you put 1,000, we have $2 million a day in volume, you're making $21 a day times 30 days, that's $649. So you already know it's going to be a little bit over a month to recoup your ROI. Let's see what that looks like in a year. That's $7,800 basically. And you guys want me to do any other numbers? Well, actually,
Sure.
I got 10,000 and 50,000 or a
That's
million. Which
pretty
one?
good. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys get the idea. I mean, it's basically that's the mathematics behind it. And it kind of gives you a snapshot what you could be making passively, because this is passive residual income. And there's gonna be a time that people are gonna look back. If they don't take action now, they're gonna wish that they participated in the early access sale. And this is that moment in time. There's like what, 20 days left practically. So you guys, if you guys know anybody, share it with them because this is going to pay it forward. You're going to bless somebody. I mean, I'm all in, Brian's all in, Tim's all in. Everybody on this call is all in because we're on these calls all the time. There's a lot of people out there that don't know about this. But just share it with them because I really feel that this is really gonna bless people and really pay it forward. And that's what it's about, seeing families in this day and age that people need an extra 500 to $1,000 just to pay bills. This is gonna help them out tremendously. So anyway, send it back to you guys.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, Dave. So 100% guys, right now is the great time to join. Yeah, so like we'll see maybe already till Wednesday. Yeah, so a few minutes we're gonna go into the PREDIXA. Yeah, so like Jake right now working on that in Germany, and we're gonna share for us more of those details. Yeah, like with the insights. And so far the great presentation, guys, and definitely thanks Brian, thanks Dave, and we'll see you on Wednesday with all of that updates and the insights. So thank you.